Disney drops Disney Plus drops its subscriber agreement clause. In the case of the man whose wife tragically passed away to an allergy at one of the restaurants, uh, it they dropped it. I think the bad publicity from that is like led to this, and I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move in the end. If you could throw that article up, Alan, if you wouldn't mind reading that.
Sure. Disney drops weird Disney Plus subscriber agreement clause in wrongful death case. The Walt Disney Company is back in the people-pleasing business. Disney World attendee Jeffrey Piccolo sued the company after his wife, Kanakporn Tagswan, died following an allergic reaction to food served at Disney Springs restaurant, Raglan Road. Piccolo says he and his wife made her allergy known and were assured her food was allergen-free. The medical examiner report found her cause of death was anaphylaxis due to elevated levels of dairy and nut in her system. Disney does not own or operate the Raglan Road. It leases a space to Great Irish Pubs Florida Inc., which is also named as a defendant in Piccolo's suit. At first, Disney went with the not it defense. We are deeply saddened by the family's loss and understand their grief. Given that this restaurant is neither owned or operated by Disney, we are merely defending ourselves against plaintiff attorney's attempt to include us in a lawsuit against the restaurant. And then in response to Piccolo's lawsuit, Disney invoked a bizarre clause buried in its streaming subscriber and online ticket buying terms of use in an effort to avoid jury trial and to force the case into arbitration. When subscribing to Disney Plus or purchasing a park ticket through its website, you are click wrapping through tons of legalese. Typical, right? Perhaps not this language. There may be instances in which disputes arise between us, the Disney subscriber agreement reads, in part, you on the one hand, and Disney Plus and or ESPN Plus on the other, agreed to resolve by binding individual arbitration all disputes, including any related disputes involving the Walt Disney Company or its affiliates.
Yeah, I get the gist of this, but it's not often they respond this quickly. They did not want to see this go to trial, but I'll just say this was, I mean, it is going to trial now, but this is really, I mean, it's hard to say it's good news, but good news, at least they see how bad of a precedent this sets. What do you think?
Yeah, you just get this sense that when people's lives are on the line and when people die, you would not try to skirt the issue in this way. I mean, I understand. I think they have a point when it's the reality is it was the restaurant's fault and that the restaurant was leasing property, but you could have just said that. You could have, I think if they had just said, look, wasn't a Disney-owned restaurant. It was a restaurant we leased property to. And therefore, I feel we should be able to not be liable for the conduct of that restaurant. That's what they should have done. And I think people would have had way more sympathy. But to bury it and say, hey, you got that free subscription. You also, rather than walking up to our ticket booth, you bought our tickets online for convenience. And for that convenience, we're going to try to screw you in arbitration. And who runs this department? Who's making these decisions? And
lawyers,
and who's unable to step far back? Yeah, but who's unable to step far back and realize that this was a bad move from the very start?
Well, it's a bad move, and the result is the case moves forward. And whatever the settlement is, it's no compensation for losing a loved one in such a horrible way.
Yeah.
So, but
I'll give you an example when Disney did it right. I think it was about 15 years ago. There was a family waiting for the Mark Twain steamboat they they strapped the steamboat to the dock on these using these metal cleats. They're like anvils in a way. Well, the boat stripped it out of the dock. It flew in the air, killed an elderly Korean gentleman there at Disneyland right on the spot. And Disney, they knew they were dead to rights there, and they bent over backwards to make it right to the family. You know, obviously there was a payment, there was a settlement that agreed to, and then they allowed the family to come in one night and hold kind of a memorial vigil for their father who had passed away.
Wow.
You know, it was like, you know, it's you know, this is something they knew they couldn't fight, and so they settled because they knew they were dead to rights. And you know, we've come so far since then. You know, nothing we do is then. This is, I think, the pattern of the Walt Disney Company and most companies in general. We're never wrong. We never do anything wrong. And I think they took that mindset into this and just tried to weasel their way out of it.
Rotten Tomatoes made changes now. They are now including a verified audience score. This verified audience score, if you get over a 90% from audience, a verified audience, this is different. They will, it'll be considered hot. Here it is from RottenTomatoes.com. What is certified fresh? They have certified fresh, and then they have the popcorn meter. It'll be considered hot, and then they have a thing. I'll read it now, Alan.
Yeah, please.
What is verified hot? The verified hot status and badge is an elevated designation honoring the highest verified reviewed theatrical films by fans. Verified hot is composed of verified ratings and reviews from the popcorn meter score and will be applied to all eligible first run movies released on or after May 2019. Must have an audience score of 90% or higher, minimum of 500 plus verified ratings for films in wide release, and a minimum of 250 verified ratings.
In limited release.
And it says repertory titles such as classics are also eligible. So there you go. Just another designation. I don't have a problem with it. What do you think?
Well, this is the first time I'm seeing it. I don't get it. Verified audience score, is that where you have to submit a ticket? Or yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so you have no opinion on this.
I'm literally reading
you have no opinion. That's fucking great.
I'm reading it for the first time right now. You would just want me to vamp about it?
You're on a YouTube show right now. Do you realize that?
I do.
Do you have you can say I don't have an opinion.
I don't have it. It looks fine. I mean,
dude, where the hell is this guy and what is he waiting for? Get over here. Alan.
See what I have to resort to?
Yes.
You and honestly, your yes.
I'm just kind of the whole verified hot just sticks out to me. I mean, I
have no dick. Why did you just do that to me?